What is going on, fellas? Welcome back to another video here on my channel. I have a few clips we're going to be going over today, and as always, we're going to go ahead and just jump right into it. So if you could hit that like button, and if you're new here, hit the subscribe button right there. Please hit that subscribe button. And hey, how's it going? My name's Rat Boy. Let's do it.
Crazy for giving this guy a chance. I had matched with this guy on Hinge, and like I always do like an initial FaceTime to see if we vibe together, and like there's like sparks or anything before going on like a date in person, just to like make sure they're not like a total weirdo, whatever. And like there wasn't really sparks flying, and I didn't feel a whole lot of chemistry on the FaceTime, but I was like, I don't want to be like too judgmental. Like I'll give him a chance in person and just feel things out. And so he had asked me to go to the bar with him, and he had said I could bring a friend or two, and I'm like, okay, that's great, perfect. Like, I don't think we're gonna match that well in person, so I'm glad I'll have someone with me to, like, give me an excuse to leave if needed. So we get to the bar, and he said he was upstairs and he'd come and grab us when we got there. And I had texted him telling him that we're here, and he wasn't answering, so I was like, okay, we'll just, like, go upstairs, grab a table, and then he'll just meet us there, because I didn't know where he was upstairs. And so we go upstairs, and I see him at the bar, and he's, like, talking to another girl, and I'm like, okay, I'll just, like, wait for him to finish, and then I'll just come to the table. And so we sit at the table, and he's full on at the bar for 20 minutes with her, literally, like, grabbing her arm, like, touching her, like, being really flirty. And, like, I see, like, them exchange numbers at one point, and I'm like, wow, this is already going so great. Like, he's flirting with another girl when he's supposed to meet me for a date. So I'm like, okay, well, already, like, red flags here. So
why are you the way that you are? Honestly, every time I try to do something fun or exciting, you make it not that way. I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
I hate to break this to you, lady, but the red flag was whenever you met him on a dating app. That was the first red flag. The second red flag was him proposing a date to take you out on a date, and he told you to meet him at a bar. That would probably be the next red flag. But this just goes to show you that some women, you know, some of these guys will ask these women out on dates. They will try to take them to what's that place called? The Cheesecake Factory. They'll try to take them on a walk and get some coffee. And these women will get mad. They will get angry. They will post these men online and ridicule them and embarrass them. And yet women like this will have no issue matching with a attractive man on Tinder. And then he will propose, oh, well, we can just meet at the bar. You know, just meet me at the bar. We'll both get plastered and we'll have a good time. You can even bring a few of your friends and, you know, we'll all hook up later. And she will be completely down with that. She will say 100% A-okay. These women have no problem with that. But God forbid you take a woman to the Cheesecake Factory and treat her to dinner. And that's like it's like a crime to some of these women. But they have no issue going with an attractive man to a bar. He's hitting on other women. She's waiting for this dude, by the way, with her friends. She's waiting for her date to quit flirting with another woman so that she can talk to him. That is what this woman's dating life has become.
We're sitting down. He finally comes over, and like he is like clearly really, really, really drunk. He's like slurring his words, and like he full on knocked my purse like off like the booth seat onto the ground, and literally everything fucking fell out. Like my wallet was like literally like all the cards had fallen like out of it, like onto the ground. Like all my fucking feminine goods fell out. Starting to get really fed up. I'm like, this man just knocked everything out of my purse. This is so embarrassing. And I'm like on the floor picking everything up from my purse, and like he didn't even help me. He's just like, oh, sorry. Like, really? Anyways, then he goes on and he's like, okay, let's order shots. Like, I'm paying. Like, I'll get everybody a shot. And I was like, I'm good. Like, I'm driving. We have a reservation later. Like, I really shouldn't be drinking hard alcohol like that right now. And he's like, don't be a buzzkill. Like, come on, it's fun, blah, blah, blah. And he's being very, very pushy. And I'm like, no, I have to drive. Like, I'm not taking shots right now. And finally, he fucking, like, let it go. And so we're, like, sitting there. And he's just being really rude. Like, he's, like, saying that I'm not funny. Like, my sense of humor is dry. Like, all of this. Just, like, being really, like, insulting and just, like, making fun of me and stuff. And I'm like, is this man actually being for real right now? Like, I literally can't. Like, I'm like, I feel so red in the face because I'm so like angry. And finally, I think he gets the message to F off. And
don't think he did it. But you know what? Even if he did do it, you know what I mean?
It really doesn't matter if you're angry or not. This is probably the craziest part about it, is that he can act any way he wants towards you because he has another woman lined up. He has multiple women lined up. You were not the only woman he called to get on this date. There are other women that are meeting him for this date, just like the woman at the bar. When you leave, there's going to be another woman that comes in and it's going to, he's going to buy her some drinks and he'll get another number and then take her home. So these women kind of go out on these dates like this and then they're surprised. They are shocked that these men act this way. That he kicked off his purse, he kicked off her purse off the chair, knocked all their shit down. She had to pick it up. He's sitting there laughing at her like, oh, look at this dumb having to pick up her shit. What an idiot. And these women just put up with it. And then they don't understand why. The reason why is because you keep matching with these certain types of dudes on these dating apps, and it's always going to be like this. It's always going to be like this because that's just how it is. The odds of you matching with a guy that you are completely attracted to, that plays your little the FaceTime game you like to play to catch a vibe and all this stuff, the odds of you finding a guy that matches all of these characteristics are very slim. Very, very slim. Also, don't meet men in bars. I'm not sure. Like, didn't your dad ever tell you not to meet a man in a bar? I mean, that's just not a good place to meet a man, especially an alcoholic. This dude sounds like he drinks way too much. So you probably just need to stay away from men like that.
And he starts talking to my best friend sitting next to me. And he's like gracing her arm and like being really flirty, just like how he was at the bar with the other girl. And my friend's kind of just like giving me side eye, like, help. And we're like sitting there for like another 10 minutes and I'm like texting her under the table. I'm like, we need to figure out like an excuse to leave ASAP. And she's like, please, like, I cannot take him flirting with me any longer. So I tell him like, oh, like, we're going to be late for our reservation if we don't leave now. Like, we got to head out. And he's like, okay, like, whatever. And I'm like, okay, like, I'll just pay my half of the bill and we're going to dip. And he's like, no, don't bother. Like, I got it. And I'm like, okay, thank you so much. Like, it was nice meeting you, like, bye. And he's like, you're really gonna let me pay? And I'm like, well, you just offered. Like, why would I say no if you just offered to pay? Like, what? And I'm like, you literally offered. Like, I'm fine paying. Like, you want me to pay? He's like, no, it's fine. Like, I'll see you later. And I'm like, you're not gonna see me later, but okay. And so we head out and we go to the next reservation that we had. And he's, like, texting me. And I'm like, this man, like, did he not, like, get the message? Like, clearly I am not interested whatsoever. And he's like, let's plan something, like, next weekend, whatever. And I'm like, I'm not really, like, feeling things. Like, I don't really want to go on a second date. Like, sorry. And that was, like, left there. And I, like, get home. And he, like, tried to FaceTime me. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, did you not understand my message? So I'm kind of leaning more towards just blocking him, but I just can't believe this actually happened. Like, what the hell? Where are all these men coming from?
These men are coming from your dating apps, by the way. These are the types of men that really don't they really don't care. That they've stopped caring a long time ago. And they've been doing this. They've been doing this the whole time. Now, a story like that, you couldn't torture that story out of me. That is insane. That is completely insane that you are meeting with these random types of men. And I have a feeling that it's only going to get worse for women like that. Do you think they learn anything from these encounters? I don't think they do. I honestly think that these encounters happen well until they're into their late 40s, early 50s. And, well, would you look at that? It's a woman in her late 40s, early 50s. Let's check this one out.
It all. My first 0 out of 10 date. This man left me at the restaurant while I was in the bathroom. Ooh! I think I'm going to hang it up for a while. Yep. I don't have anything left to give. But if I'm honest, I never should have gone on the date in the first place. Everything was telling me not to. Everything. The signs were there, but I was like, I'll give him a chance.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
They always give the guys a chance whenever they're a certain height and they look a certain way and their abs are a certain definition and their arms are a certain size. They always give these men a chance, and well, it never turns out good. And if you're wondering what Bumble is right here, Bumble is a dating app that used to be or maybe it still is. I don't know. I don't know anything about Bumble. But supposedly the whole gimmick behind Bumble is that the woman texts the man first and is like, hey, you want to blow my back out or whatever. That's what the woman usually texts. And the man's usually like, no, you're too fat. Or he usually makes up an excuse to say no. But in this instance, he said yes. He said, yeah, let's go out on a dinner. Let's see what this is all about. And so these men will entertain these women when they text them up first. This is one of those instances. And I'm guessing it didn't get to the back blowing out ceremony that usually happens at the end. But let's continue the story. Let's see where it goes.
Nope. Follow your guts. Follow your guts. Everything was going fine. This guy and I had been talking for like 3 or 4 days. He asked me out to dinner for this weekend today. Chose a cute little Cuban spot. Made the plans. We figured out the time. All that jazz. He doesn't live here in Charlotte. It was about an hour and a half outside of Charlotte, so he drove in and got a hotel for the night.
I'll tell you, your first mistake is driving a Tesla. Tesla right there. All right, let's continue.
Where the problem started is he texted me this. I read that and I was like, oh, absolutely not. So I responded with this. And ever since that point, the vibes just turned in our conversation.
Hey, you wanted this, right? You wanted the real deal. That's what this is. Wake up. You're in the middle of it. You want to run? Go ahead. No one's stopping you. Stop complaining.
Well, that's because you led this man on. These women don't understand. They're texting for 3 or 4 days. They lead these men on. That they give these men insinuations that these women want to stay with these men, stay the night with these men. You can't ask me what the conversations they have because all these conversations are different. Some of you guys out there probably know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of like, you don't say it up front, and he decided to say it up front. He asked about the back blowing out ceremony and she completely turned it down. She said it was too early. She said, no, I've only known you for 4 days. I only let guys blow my back out after about 7 days. You're a couple days too early there, buddy. And it spooked her. It spooked her. It ruined the vibes, as you can see, and she is completely shook. This is the face of a woman that is shook. She's completely shook right now.
But it was the day of the date, within like a few hours of it. So I had the decision to make of like, do I cancel this because it's kind of going left, or do I just go? He was apologetic because I guess he felt like I misunderstood what he was saying, but I personally feel like I knew exactly what he was saying. He thought this was going to be something that it wasn't. So he shows up, Hollister hoodie, jeans, no reservation, barely speaks on the date. It's so awkward. I'm so uncomfortable for the entire thing. I just order my food, quickly eat a little bit of it, put it in a to-go box. We barely speak for the majority of the dinner.
You're in my house, fatso, and you didn't ask permission. So you and your friends can leave now, or they can carry your fat out in a bucket.
Whoa. Let's go back a little bit here. Let me take a picture of this. What's going on here? Them some big fingers over there, buddy. Yeah, I'm thinking there's a little bit more to this story than there's a little bit more to this story than what we're being told. I think maybe she I think she got a little taste of her own medicine is what she's been doing to some of these guys, if you know what I mean. Okay, and look, I'm not saying there's no such thing as a male catfish. There's plenty of men out there that catfish women like this, but come on. I mean, women are the best at doing it. Women, they've been doing it since the beginning.
We barely speak for the majority of the dinner. Barely. We just watch the live music. Then I decide to go to the bathroom, and when I come back, I'm going to ask him if he's ready to go. By the time I go and come back, I'm in the bathroom for maybe 2 minutes. I come back, he's gone. Vanished. Nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. Granted, the date was over. He had already paid for the check. But I just think this is like, it's really something. Like, he could not even say like, hey, I think I'm going to call it a night. Thanks so much for your time. Not even that. Because I called him on his bullshit. I called him on his bullshit. And he had a bad attitude. Men. Oh, and the most embarrassing part wasn't even this guy leaving. It was the walk of shame out of the restaurant with the waitresses saying, Lo siento.
You know, and all we can do is pray for her. But still, it's This is real shit.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate. But here's the truth behind this story, and she isn't going to tell you this. She catfished this man as well. That they were both catfishes in the situation. This guy just decided he wanted to get a meal out of it, and the back blowing out ceremony never took place, and so he dipped. He got out of there. And look, I don't blame him. Okay. These are the pickings for men in their late 40s, early 50s. I'm pretty sure he might have been a little bit younger for that, because these women are not going after these men that are their age. They're going after these men that are younger. That's just the way it is. It's the way it's going to be. I'm not sure why at this point. It seems like a mystery. These women get so upset whenever they see older men with younger women, and yet they are women that are of older age trying to date these younger types of men. Leave these men alone, okay? Leave these men alone. I just want to show you guys this. Look how creepy this lady is. It like popped up randomly. Look at that smile. It's such a creepy, maybe it's a filter. I don't know. I'm not watching that video. Her face annoys me. But this is the reality for just not even dating, just being involved with all of this stuff. I am sitting here watching these videos and so glad that I have decided to never date and do dating apps, because this is the situation. You have a woman you have another individual she's meeting men on Bumble, which, I mean, we already told you about the Bumble thing. With Bumble, the woman has to ask the man for the back blowing out ceremony through text, and she did, and he accepted, and then she took back her invitation. Look, it happens. Okay. She saw the guy, she got nervous, she didn't know what to do, she didn't know how to handle it. And I just hate it for these men out here that are on these dating apps. They're trying to date these women. They're meeting these women in bars and this and that. And they think everything's going fine, and look, it's okay. These men will have 2 or 3 dates in the same night, and then they'll meet women at the bar. They'll have women coming to meet them at the bar. They'll all exchange numbers. They'll flirt with the woman's friends. And this is what these men do. These women will swear to you that all men act this way. Oh, no, it's all men. All men do this. All men have these same behaviors. And it's not. It is absolutely not. An average guy would not be able to do any of this stuff. An average guy, just an average man, would have a hard time just having a match on a dating app. Think about that one for a second. While we're talking about women trying to date and stuff, and there's women dating coaches, which I have a video coming up later in the week about that you know what I'm talking about there. It is just completely delusional that these women think that they can meet a man on a dating app and have him just be normal. It's just not going to happen. But let me know what you guys think. Fellas, leave me a comment down below. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video. It really would help me out. And I'll catch you guys later. Rat Boy out.